Is this the time where I insert a Hannah Montana song clip? Actually not, because copyright will come for my wig, but just know that I'm thinking it, okay? Oh, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. Am I gonna keep that? I'm gonna keep it. Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Either way, I'm super excited to have you. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now, as you can see, today we are doing something we haven't yet before. I'm actually starting a new series. We're gonna do a Let's Build, which is like a little nerve-wracking because I don't consider myself to be like amazing at building. I would say I'm like average. Like my builds are acceptable. Some of them are real cute, some of them are real not, and a lot of them are somewhere in between. Like they're fine, better than EA's, but like if you're on the gallery looking for something, I don't know if you stop at my builds. I'm really underhyping myself, aren't I? That makes you want to watch this video, doesn't it? It's gonna be fun though. Today we are building what I'm calling my dream house. Now this is complicated. I just want to say for starters that like, I'm not a rich bitch, okay? Eat the rich, you know? Like how achievable is this? Probably not, like at all. But it's like that childhood level of like dreaming of like, am I a dream house? But a little bit more mature than that because we're not gonna have like slides or crazy things, but we are probably gonna have a bookcase door or two, and it is gonna be like a pretty sizable house. It's like childhood whimsy of having unlimited money for a dream house and like what I would actually really love to live in as a 20-something-year-old. So let's just hop into game and get started, shall we? All right, now as you can see, we are in this lot in Brindleton Bay. It's the Tails End lot. It's on like grassy area, but a little bit closer to like the downtown part of this world. So the reason I picked Brindleton Bay is because I know that in the game it has like a very Cape Cod, New England, like East Coast vibe, but also, at least to me, out of the worlds that we have so far, this is the closest that we have to like Pacific Northwest. This is the closest that we have to like Pacific Northwest, and that's ideally where I'd live. That's not where I live currently, but like, this is a dream house, okay? Let me dream. You can't stop me. So I'm gonna get building. I'm actually gonna put on screen. I was browsing on Pinterest actually, just looking for houses to build. Like I have a whole Pinterest board of houses that I want to try building. So that's definitely pretty common for me. Even when I'm not directly recreating a real life house, I am usually looking at some sort of floor plan reference because I'm just not that creative. Like I said it before, I'm not excellent at this. So I was just looking, trying to like scope out what I would even define as being like a dream house for me. And I found this floor plan, and I'll have whatever corresponding part of it on the screen at any moment. But I found this floor plan and this house online, and I really, really liked the concept of that. The vibe of that really hit me good. And so I'm gonna try to be heavily inspired by that. Guarantee it's going to end up looking at least a little bit different than that because that's just the nature of this game, and trying to translate real life stuff doesn't always go well, at least in my experience. So I'm, you know, going to take those vibes and be inspired by them, but also, you know, guarantee it's not going to look exactly like that, but that's the goal. That's the vibe, you know? I am so bad at building and talking, y'all. We are in for a long ride doing this. Okay, so I know I said this is a let's build, but the problem with that is that I am very, very bad at multitasking in almost any capacity, which is not ideal considering what I'm doing with my life right now. But anyway, I was building the shell of this, and at first I was looking at the floor plan that I found online and really trying to like recreate it square for square, which if you haven't done that before, don't. It's a bad idea. It ends up looking bad. So you'll see here, we're gonna go through the motions of recreating the floor plan, realizing that it doesn't look good, and then trying to make it look good. So I ended up changing a decent amount of it, but that's why I decided to cut this into a speed build, because A, I wasn't doing commentary at all because I was focused, because I can't focus on more than one thing at once. I like to say I have the attention span of a goldfish, so that's probably all you need to know. Anyway, you can see that I was trying to recreate the floor plan, and then I ended up getting rid of the pantry and stuff that it had because we don't really need those in The Sims, and they were making the house too big, which I know is weird, especially when it comes to like a dream house, but like I didn't want it to be too big for this lot because I really, really like this lot, and I want it to fill up, I want the house to fill up like a decent amount of it where it looks like full and complete, but not be like busting at the seams, if that makes any sense. So it took me a while to kind of get to the balance that we ended up reaching. I like the way it looks kind of at the end of this clip. I think I still need to adjust the roof, the height of the roofs. I left a lot of them just at the default, like all of the gabled ones are just at the default height because I was just trying to figure out like spacing and stuff rather than roof height. So at the end of this video, we're gonna have the shell done. I ended up deleting like almost all of the walls inside because I really abandoned the floor plan, especially on the upper floor. So we're gonna have to make a new floor plan. I'm gonna be like inspired by the old one to the best of my ability, but it's gonna look a little different because I deleted the garages and a lot of the closets and a bunch of other stuff. And I also would like to fit in an extra bedroom space if I could. This house, the floor plan is 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and I'd like to make it 5 bedrooms so that I can have an office, a library, and 3 bedrooms because that's just who I am. Because I'm extra. That's why we're doing this. And that's why I do most things, honestly. So you can see here, we're just 5 in, I'm just building, like even sped up, because I sped this footage up so that we wouldn't have to watch me build real time, because that's even worse. But you can see I still took a while. Like I kept cutting to the floor plan and then coming back to this and realizing that the scale was all off because there's this part of the house in the, like, it's an artist rendition because it's not an actual house, it's just a floor plan. There's part of it that really looks like it's just a normal window and like part of the house, but it has to be a garage based on the way they've drawn it. And obviously I didn't give a garage in this house because, you know, at EA we don't have cars, so I'm not gonna waste like half of this house's square footage on garage space. Then I didn't want to build the garage and then just make it part of the house because then it's like way too big. And listen, these are all struggles that I faced and I'm rambling, I know, but I've got 7 minutes of speed build footage that I have to voice over in a Let's Build video. So here we are. You'll see the shape of the house kind of come along as we go. I also ended up changing a decent amount of what the roofing looks like. And again, this is not her final form. Like the shell is probably pretty close in terms of bump outs and stuff like that, but I don't put on the windows, I don't do the doors. The roofing height for the gabled roof definitely needs to be adjusted, and maybe some of the other roofing heights too. I'm thinking actually after this little like speed build clip of me building most of the shell, we're gonna go back in game. I will adjust the roof, do a couple more things, and then we'll have like the shell of the house done, and that'll be the end of this part. So we do have a couple minutes left of this little speed build. I hesitate to say speed build because again, this is a Let's Build, but you know, this little chunk of Let's Build where I sped it up a little bit and cut out my voice because I wasn't commentating and it was going painfully slow. So I'm gonna let you vibe to the next couple minutes of that. I'll turn that background music that you hear right now, I'll turn it up, you can vibe. I'll come back, we'll work a little bit more on it, and then that'll be it, and then that'll be the end of the video. So stick around and I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, so you can see here, this is the completed shell, and you know, again, I hesitate to say completed because we still have work to do on her, but this is kind of the form that the house has taken. Do you see what I mean about these gabled roofs being too high? Like, I think that this one needs to be aligned with this hipped roof or else it's gonna look weird, and then I have this thing where if all of the gabled roofs aren't the same height on a build, it drives me actually insane. So we're gonna delete all of those, and now that this one is lined up to be the right height, we're gonna copy it and put it all over the place because, again, you know, I am nothing if not consistent, question mark? Is this even consistency or is this just being too picky? What's the difference? Someone let me know. I am both simultaneously. All right. Let's copy this and move that over. I don't know how to commentate while I'm doing a Let's Build because I am so trying to focus on this. You know when you're hyper focusing on one task, and then the world is like, okay, but you can't only accomplish one task in your life, and you're just like, because that's my mood. Arguably constantly, but definitely at this moment. All right, let's just get this roof over here, and then that should be the end of it. You know, that kind of is coming through at the right spot. I might pull that forward. Oh, that's too far forward. Yikers. Do we hate that? Let me know. I don't think I hate that. I could be wrong. I could grow to hate it. I grow to hate lots of things. What does that mean? Wow, that sounds like I just have character growth, but in the opposite direction. Like instead of growing as a person and getting better, I just get worse. That's too real. All right, let's do trim and maybe even windows. So I'm gonna pop off and be basic and do white trim. And I'm gonna use the square trim that I always use because I am nothing if not consistent, you know? I'm not even that consistent, but when it comes to certain aesthetic preferences, for sure. I think that almost every single build I have done has this exact trim. I sometimes change the color if we're doing like brown windows and having like a cottage vibe, but for the most part, like white trim, you know, basicness. I think that I want to, I'm looking at the picture of the actual house, sorry. So they've got white windows that have green painting and green shutters. And listen, I'm happy that they're happy, good for them. I don't think that I want green windows, I've got to be honest. Also, why is half of their roof a different color? I'm stressed, y'all. This is the first time I'm actually looking at the roofing, and it looks like most of it is like a dark, you know, shingle, very, very normal. But why is some of it like brown? Tell me why. I hate that. Okay, anyway. This is my dream house, so we can change it. That's just an inspo pick. We don't have to commit to that. I think I'm gonna go quite dark on the roof. I like that vibe a lot. Question mark, or I might do brown. I'm trying to decide what's the angle. Are we going for sleek, a little bit more contemporary farmhouse, or are we doing like farmhouse, you know, like with a capital F? I think I want capital F, like farmhouse, although not metal roof because that's too farmhouse. Like it's a farmhouse, but it's not on a farm, you know, like that's the difference. It's not actually a farmhouse. But then I'm thinking we can have, because it looks like they've got a wooden front door, and I actually really like the idea of that vibe. So that way we can live our best lives. And that's so funny. Anyway, that way we can live our best lives and, you know, have the best of both worlds, question mark. Is this the time where I insert a Hannah Montana song clip? Actually not, because copyright will come for my wig, but just know that I'm thinking it, okay? Okay, I know that Friday's video also has a house using this door in this swatch, but you can't stop me. I love this door. Maybe I shouldn't though. Maybe I'll do it in white. Maybe that's the vibe. Is that the vibe? I'm thinking I might want to use the cats and dogs windows. I just think they're really pretty. I would like to use shuttered windows, but the problem is that the base game is the way that it is. So let's see what our kind of options are. Oh, I also want to consider, hear me out. Oh, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. Am I gonna keep that? I'm gonna keep it. I know I just said I hate it, but I think I like it. I think that in real life, it's so nice to have tall ceilings. And those aren't even that tall. It just feels discombobulating. I don't mind the medium wall height, although I never do it on like the second floor of a build, just the first. But I think that when you build something short wall height and then you change it, it's a little bit jarring. But I think that I can work with this. Give me a chance, okay? Give me a chance. I'm thinking we could do like that. Oh, for sure, that's the vibe. I mean, we are building it in Brittleton Bay, and it is like my dream house, but I also want it to be like as, you know, vaguely useful for you guys as possible. So I'm thinking we'll use cats and dogs windows, and then also maybe these ones in some spots, question mark? Excuse me. Tell me I can't intercept objects. Who do you think I am, game? How dare you? This is rude. I think that I hate that. Oh no. I think that I ... hate it. Yeah, I hate it here. All right, let's try it. Go back to the start and try again. The problem with medium wall height is that the window options go way down in quality. But there's so many pretty medium wall height curtains I want to use. I feel so conflicted. All right, let's give it another shot. Maybe we don't do shutters. Maybe we just say, Shutter, I barely know her. I'm sorry, I'll leave. Canceled. Cancel. I do. Oh, y'all, a vibe has been achieved. This is what I want. This is what I wanted all along, and I didn't even know. Okay, the vibe is changing. The vibe is changing to be this vibe because y'all, I never use those laundry day windows and they are so pretty. We love a bay window. In real life, just imagine plants, cushions, a reading nook. The world is your oyster. We love it. Okay, well, this is the vibe now. We're going a little bit more contemporary, so we are about to stray further and further from the line of our reference picture. So as you just saw, I actually just finished doing all the windows and everything like that. I decided to jump in one more time to voiceover. I know I'm inconsistent. I'm sorry. It's funny because I kept saying I'm consistent, but I'm really not. Anyway, this is where we ended up with the windows. I really like it. I think that it ended up going more craftsman than I originally intended. That always happens to me though. But I really like the seasonless windows for this because they have the white frame and the black panes, and they tie in really well with these laundry day windows, which like became the motivation for the entire house. I want to use these wherever possible. I might move them, put them on this bay window too, we'll see. But I wanted to come back in and show you after that little speed build what we have so far. The inside is completely blank. I got rid of all those interior walls, so we're gonna have to make a floor plan. But we're gonna save that for next time because this video is already way too long. So that being said, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give it a like and leave a comment down below. Let me know. What do you think so far? Should I change anything? Would you like to live in this house? You know, leave me all the deets, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!